Her mother-in-law's not very well.
Oh, okay. Make this copy.
Right there. How many people need agendas? We didn't get an agenda. 2, 3. Dave, you going in there to get your folder, you want to make have those copies both sides of that. Dave, make a few more agendas. That's all right. Double thought. Good. A few copies up here. Take one page. There's a front and back in there.
Call a special meeting of the Donaldson Township Board of Supervisors to order with the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting, or roll call, I'm sorry.
Okay. Dave Ely?
Here.
Present. Mr. Prescott?
Here. Call the meeting, the Board of Supervisors will hold a special meeting on February 16, 2017 at 6 p.m. in the Township Municipal Building, Said purpose of the meeting is to open and consider bids for the operation and maintenance of the township wastewater treatment plant and pump station and water distribution center. The meeting is open to the public and the township may consider any and all businesses before it. Announcements.
Dave, I asked a question. When was the decision made to do any other business that comes before you? Because that wasn't announced whenever you announced this meeting.
The announcement was advertised, Bob. It's been done that way for 20 years.
Does it make it right?
Okay, let's
I
move
asked you,
on.
when was the decision made?
We're moving on.
When was the decision made, Doug?
We'll not order.
When was it?
We'll not order, Dave. We'll not do minutes.
So you take a minute.
Yeah, I'm taking minutes.
Announcements. As executive session, the supervisors held an executive session Monday, February 13, 2017 at 6 p.m. to 7:10 p.m. at the municipal building. 3 members of the road department were present. The 4th was excused due to a family emergency. The board was informed the operating engineer's business agent was notified and was unable to attend. Purpose of the meeting was to discuss a road personnel, particularly to determine if any employee was involved in the grave markers or former grave markers being used as culvert fill material on Sheila Road at some date or a year unknown. Any motion as a result of this meeting, if any, will be added to the addition to the agenda. Additionals to the agenda.
There's none.
Old business. Background. Chief John Yankos has recommended hiring a part-time officer. Motion to grant the authority for Chief to approve the hiring pending a positive interview by the Board of Supervisors.
Make a motion to give Chief John Yankovic the authority to hire a part-time police officer pending the outcome of an interview conducted by the Board of Supervisors. A motion to record the hiring be placed on the agenda for next month's, be placed on next month's agenda. For next month.
Should be here tonight. I'll second the motion.
Any questions on the motion?
Yes.
Do board or public? Either one. Do board or public?
Yes, Bob?
I'm asking again, when that decision was made to do other business.
Well, we're not gonna answer that question. We're moving on.
You have to either put it in the motion,
This, we're
and
on,
I have been advised
We're
by
not-
a lawyer
Well,
that you can add it.
we're.
But to add it, hey Doug, I still got the floor.
You're out of
I'm gonna
order,
talk.
Bob.
One person, I see one person that's kind of interested in what I'm saying.
Okay, but this is not the point where we have a motion on the floor. This is not that motion, okay? It's not the
I'm
place for
talking about this motion.
it. In regards to, okay,
And-
you want to talk specifically about this motion? Is that what you want to do?
No, I'm talking about the legality of even bringing this motion up. What it says is that you can add that to a motion, but the 3 of you have to decide that. And it appears to me from the looks of people, you didn't make that decision, the 3 of you. Right or wrong?
There's nothing here to answer. This is not an interrogation, Bob. You may want it to be, but it's not, okay?
I'm just saying that what you're doing is illegal.
Okay, but then I'll note in here that you've said
You
that.
note it,
Okay.
and you can note it on each one of them. If you want, I want you to note it on anything that's passed tonight.
Okay.
Either that, or I'm gonna have to get up every time and say the same thing.
Then you need to get up every time and say the same thing.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Any other questions? How you vote?
Yes.
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 Background, Mark West has requested approval for the road bond to cover their use of Cunningham Road. Motion to approve Mark West's request for the road bond for Cunningham Road.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
Yes, I again say that it's illegal to do this.
I have a question.
JD?
When was that request made?
It's right here, if you look at it. This application was made out on 1/31/17. The check was dated 2/7/2017. There's actually two checks here, one for $250 and one is for $3,000 on February 7th, 2017. Their agreement was that they signed and sealed the agreement on February 1, 2017.
Is that for the Durham Bourne pipeline access?
R&R Jones project.
Is there
R&R
somebody from Mark West here tonight?
No, that's not typical Dublin, they're asking for a road bond. In fact, in the old days, these never even came to the board. These were approved by the roadmaster.
Any other questions? How you vote?
How about yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Additions to the agenda?
None?
Remarks from the supervisors?
None.
Public comment? You got something? Public comment on non-agenda items? Good, Kathy.
Me?
Yeah.
Have the rules changed on public meetings as long as it's advertised, just like it says here? Any and all business that's brought before you can be addressed at any public meeting. The advertisement is saying, any and all business that comes before you will be addressed. Has that rule changed somewhere along the line?
Not that I know of.
I am not, if I could have, you recognize me or not?
Yes, Bob.
I'm not saying you can't put it in there. What I'm saying is that you didn't put it in there, it was not mentioned during the meeting in which this meeting was talked about. You can, if all three of you decide that you want to do that, you have the right to do it. But from the look of you, you didn't do that. Doug, or someone took it upon themselves to put it in there.
Did you say that I did? Is that what you said?
Somebody.
You know, you
did.
said my name, Bob.
Yes, I did.
Okay, then you
And
better prove it.
well, but you are the one
I forgot.
that's in it, you are over the
On
office.
here.
I believe you said Doug or someone, is what I heard, and I'm standing right, sitting right in front
I
of you.
wanna move the,
Wait.
we need to get that. Okay.
Speak up, please.
I said we had one more public comment. This lady had her hand up. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I don't know if this is where I need to speak or not. My
Yeah.
name is Connie Dorsey, and I run the McGuffey Food Pantry in Claysville. I'm currently in need of new space. I'm currently behind Pat's old place, which is in tiers 2, I don't know which one to call it. I need to move out of there before the April 1st. It was brought to my attention that the township building might be able to accommodate me. There was many discussions even on this building, but I have a few requirements myself. I can't go up and down steps because I'm dealing with 4 pallets of food every month. I just kind of thought maybe I better come to this meeting to see if there's any chance that maybe I can look at the place, see if it's possible for me to get in there, or if it's even allowed to be put in there.
I would say, probably the best thing to do is look at it, see if it's gonna work for you. Then if it is, then come back to the board and then we'll see what we can do.
You know Mr. Crashar? Back Ed, is he here?
Okay.
You wanna hook up with him and he could show you what space we have? And then come back to us and see if it's something that's gonna be workable.
I'm soon with that. Like I said, I'm kind of pushed
Well-
for time myself. They need me out by April 1st.
If, you know, I think something we certainly could consider. Don't see there's any issue. And the timeline's pushing us a little bit, but, because the space that we have is currently used as storage, and we'd have to find some place to store our stuff until we have another place to store our stuff. But I think it could be, I think we can make sure that you don't go without a place to store your food. Do you have coolers or refrigerators?
I have
or-
2 freezers and a refrigerator that I currently use, but, I don't know the poundage, but I do have a lot of donated food that I have to keep stored. If I wouldn't have any donated food, I could go into a building and just distribute what I get that month, but people would walk out. I'm feeding over 200 people, about 80 families in just this side of the McGuffey area.
Ed, what kind of, do we have adequate power in that building for
Yeah.
the freezers or?
I would say my current space is about 30 by 30.
So you're talking about pallets, you need to wheel these pallets to a door, or,
I don't, no, we take them off the pallets and bring them in on dollies.
oh, okay. So the door's not wide enough to accommodate a 4x4
Oh,
pallet?
no. Right now, we're going up a ramp.
Wait, JD.
Then Ed, you'll get with Mrs. Dorsey and show her the space, and you can get back to us if we need to expedite something, at least we need to know it.
Okay. Kathy?
I thought you said JD.
No, you had your hand up first.
Okay, are you guys going to continue with your meeting for the Right to Know training?
We're not canceled as far as I know.
Okay.
JD?
I just had a question on what she was talking about the food bank. Where are most of the people that you're supporting or serving coming, like what area or what end?
There's 2 food pantries in the McGuffey School District. There's mine and Prosperity. But I do everything, basically from Abide Craycraft over, all the way out to East West Finley, to the border.
So either location doesn't affect you as much. I didn't know if people are gonna come there and pick up, right? Do you guys have, my question was, were you thinking you have something available in this building that doesn't have steps, or are you thinking of the old building?
The old building.
Any other public comment? Good, Bob.
I want to apologize to Doug. I thought that since he was the head of the office, that he would be up on what was put into that motion. I also want to apologize to any visitors we may have here this evening. This is just something that I felt that needed clarified, and I'm sorry that you had to sit here and listen to this. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
There is an item that I didn't catch when I reviewed the agenda that's not on there. And the reason for the next meeting was looking at these bids. And these are the bids for the plant operator, water and sewer plant operator bids. They need to be opened, and look, engineer, you need to earn your money, not what you open them.
Something to do.
You want to give me the name,
Sure.
and then I'll record that, please?
We did receive 3 bids. The first bid sealed, and it's from
Dave,
John Forrest, IES.
but JD, before you start, would you introduce the gentleman at the end of the table for those?
That's Gordon Taylor, he's our in-township engineer, with Senate
With Senate
Engineering.
Engineering Company.
Just thought that appropriate.
That's fine, yeah. And John, spell last name?
Forrest, F-O-R-I-S.
Okay.
And attachment number 1 is page 8 of the request for proposal that went out. On page 8, part 1, plant operations. This is for the basic services of plant operations for a total monthly operations fee, and that's $2,250. Part 2 was work order hourly rates. This is anything over and above normal plant operations. For a principal of the company, it would be $60 an hour, and for an operator, $45 an hour. And mileage, this is for vehicles, 53 cents per mile. And they did identify the mileage between their base of operations and the treatment plant. And he says 25 miles. I did provide an emergency response telephone number. This is under Part 3 emergency response. And for emergency service calls, which are billed at 1 1/2 times the work hourly rates, it's principal $90 an hour and an operator $67.50. And then Part 4 was water line repair rates. And we have a repair crew. And that should consist of anything and everything they need to do a repair. That's $75 an hour. And a emergency repair crew, and that's between the hours of 5 p.m. and 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, and weekends and holidays, that's $100 an hour. And he did list the licensed operators, John Forrest and Jeff Davis, and gave their Pennsylvania ID numbers. So I'll set that one aside. The next bid is from H&H Water
Before we
Controls.
go on to the next bid, I have a question about that one. Before you
Yeah, we-
can one at a time, maybe ask if anybody has any questions.
We're not gonna award any bids.
Yeah, we're not gonna award no bids tonight.
Well, no, I just, simple logical question was on the base bid of $22.50 for normal operations. Did they have an hour allotment of the base operations? In other words, what's included in that doesn't go above and beyond that?
No, the first 7 pages listed a scope of work that they had to conduct. They have to take so many samples according to the permit per week. They have to do certain maintenance. So it's based on, their timing, what it takes to get all the base services in for that week or that month.
But there's not a set number of hours per week
No,
that go into that base, not over and above.
no.
Thank you.
And just to reiterate, when I get to it, the second thing, the second item, which was an hourly rate, would be if during the course of the day, if there were certain items beyond the typical scope of work that they would have to conduct to keep the treatment plant operating properly.
There's a list of what is entailed in the typical scope of work.
Yeah,
Included in
the first 7 pages discuss that for both the wastewater and water. All I received from H&H Water Control was a letter. Unfortunately, I regret to inform you that we cannot submit a bid to operate these systems. Because it requires operation of Donegal's potable water distribution system services that H&H does not provide. The next bid is from CWM. We have 3 copies. Okay, under attachment number 1, plant operations. For the basic services of the plant operations, $4,127.92. Part 2, work order hourly rates. $125 per hour for the principal, $85 per hour for the operator. Mileage rate, 53.5 cents per mile. And mileage is from base of operations to the plant is 30 miles. They did list the emergency response number. The hourly rates for emergency response: for principal, $187.50, and operators, $127.50. And then water line repair rates, repair crew, $175 an hour, and emergency repair crew, $262.50 per hour. And signed as the other one was before us. And that's it.
I'd like to make a motion to refer these bids to the attorney and to the engineer for review and recommendation.
Second. Any questions? Good, Tammy.
I just, upon getting a new, company in to do the water, does that mean that we will no longer need John Ritchie each month to send in our DEP reports?
To tell you the truth, I'm not familiar with that procedure. It wasn't, reports were addressed in this, that as part of the scope of services, that all reports to DEP, whether they were for the treatment plant or the public water supply system, would have to be done by the contractor. So I don't know if that means this gentleman you're talking about won't do that part anymore, if the supervisors want the contractor to do that.
Okay, one more question for that, is that okay?
Good.
I didn't know because currently we pay both Tom Bibby and this John Ritchie DEP certificates to the state. I just didn't know if that would then take that off of our plate, and also we pay John Ritchie on top of Tom Bibby each month to do our DEP paperwork. I just didn't know if that would relieve that, you know what I mean? So that we're getting, like you said, it's just a bit of a savings there to the bids. I just was asking if that was in part of the bid.
Well, the way the scope of work is now, it would be that the new operator would do those reports.
Okay,
So
thank you.
that would be a savings if the supervisors choose to do it that way.
Okay, thank you.
Go, JD.
Sounds like in both of those bids, they both want mileage paid, not for emergency or not just outside of the initial operations of the plant. They also want to pay mileage from their base to the plant. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Doesn't seem right. They can't do the work if they don't get there. I mean, I can see on emergency calls and stuff outside the general scope of work, but that should certainly be included in the general scope of work, the operation of the plant, I would think. So. Okay, way rather than saying.
Let's go ahead and vote on the motion.
I believe the mileage is part of the work orders. The top number does not include, there wouldn't be an additional mileage.
Right, and that's what I wanted to verify, but this is one of the contractors here, but, yeah, that's included, that's for any additional mileage.
Gordon, I'm gonna assume that part of the review of those documents, if there's any questions, you'll make phone calls to the
Oh, yes.
parties and get clarifications.
Any other questions? How you vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Executive session. There will be a need for an executive session for the purpose of discussing a police personnel matter and also to conduct negotiations for the police labor contract. Motion to approve holding an executive session for the purpose of discussing a police personnel matter, also to conduct negotiations for the police labor contract.
So moved. Second.
Any questions? How you vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Put it 6:35.
Folks, you're more than welcome to wait. This session could last 2 hours, and I don't believe there's any intention of taking any action when we come out.
Nope.
Hey, before you guys go, can I ask one more question about the water thing? Are you guys gonna, so you only get 2 bids, you're gonna send them an attorney and the engineer. Are you guys, is it still open that other companies can come in and bill out?
No,
Because it sounds like,
not unless we decide to reject those.
what I was gonna say, out of those 2, it doesn't sound like you really need to send them and pay the money to the attorney and engineer because one's double the other. If they're both,
But that's